Welcome everyone to Becoming Awesome. I'm your host, Ray Thomas. I got my lovely co-host Jenna Lass right next to me, and our incredible chat mod, Kevin Bourne. Welcome to season 3, episode 6. We're excited to have the co-host of She Builds come on, and really excited because I'm a little bit biased being a girl dad that has a girl in all girls STEM school. So this episode is for to talk about the women in technology, some of the great work that we're doing, across even with external customers and partners, etc. So excited to learn about that. So Kevin, why don't you quickly start introduce yourself first? Then we know you're gonna go, behind the scenes and help everyone in the chat. So
Yeah, how you doing? My name is Kevin Bowen. I'm a sourcing recruiter in the worldwide public sector. Actually, lucky enough to be on Ray and Jenna's team. I will be in the chat taking your questions live. Look forward to seeing you in there.
all right. Hey, Jenna.
Well, hello, audience. It would be so nice to know where you are today. That's what we care about. We want to know about you. So engage with us because this is the platform to do it. And as you meet our guests, which I'm so excited to meet today, Ray, audience, please let us know, ask questions. This is the place to do it. And they want to share. So I am hoping to learn really what this mission is because I watched one episode only and it seems pretty interesting and I want to know what's behind it. Ray, what do you think you'd like to get out of today's conversation with our guests?
Again, I just want to understand some of the incredible work that they've done. I want to learn about the visibility that maybe they provide others as well, and just get to know what some of the incredible work that's being done that we're not aware of, that could hopefully inspire others to either partner with them or learn from them, or one way or another, just continue to grow that community. So why don't we
Let's bring them on?
Right? Yeah, let's bring them on. So here we go. We got Claire and we got Andrea. How are you?
Hey
everyone. How are you?
Great.
We're so excited to have you, and we're so excited to hear all about the amazing work that you're doing. People probably already know you because we've promoted this show to promote your show. But there may be other people that haven't watched your show yet and may decide to start watching. So let's start with introductions. Claire, you're up top. Let's start with you.
Sounds great. Hi, everyone. And thank you, Jenna. Thank you, Ray, AKA Girl Dad, for having us here today. So for those of you who I have not met before, my name is Claire Holly. I've been working at AWS. Oh my goodness, it's about to be 3 years as of June 1st. The time has flown by. But I lead a team of solution architects for the Northeast for enterprise to mid-large accounts. And pretty much been here, as I mentioned, for about, as we just said, 3 years. And we started this program called AWS She Builds for Tech Skills North America. I mean, Andrea's going to go into it a little bit more, but basically have been one of the co-founders here. We just want to make sure that we bring more awareness to women in tech, and we kind of take a different spin in highlighting a lot of our customers, as well as some of the female leaders that we have here in technology.
Awesome.
Thank you. Andrea?
Awesome. Thank you, Jenna. Thank you, Ray, for having me here. So hi, everyone. Andrea Sabet is my name. I'm also a solution architect leader based out of New York City. I joined Amazon about 5 years ago. So today is my 5th year, which is the orange badge. It's a big deal here at Amazon. So super excited. My background is data science. I worked as a data scientist, so to speak, and I got education in the field of physics and math, and completely different for what I do today. But like Claire, I co-founded She Builds, and super excited to be here today to kind of share the ins and outs of what we've done to highlight the great work that women are doing in the field of technology. So looking forward to today's session.
Awesome. Well, before we go deeper, let's see if anybody out there knows what color badge comes after the orange badge at Amazon.
All right, we'll wait to see what they mentioned in chat, but
not what's held on toward the end.
Yeah.
All right. Ray,
Yeah. So let's talk about this. As far as the ideation about she builds, like who came up with it? Who came up with the idea? Was it you, Andrea? You, Claire? How did this all start?
Yeah, I can give a little bit of background as to what She Builds is. It actually was founded in Australia in 2018. It was founded by a woman who worked there, and she left the company not too long ago. But the whole idea and the vision of She Builds was essentially create like a diverse, inclusive community where those who identify as women and love to develop skills to build on AWS and be innovative thinkers, they can join this organization. And She Builds have multiple different subgroups. Some of it is focused on career development. Some of it is around your technical skills. There's many different branches. And Clara and I, at the time, I remember this was maybe a little bit over a year ago. I worked as part of our media group. So I found out that, the She Builds had presence in APJ, which is our, Asia Pacific region, but there was not much presence in North America. So I found out about it. And, again, Claire and I work in the same group. So we had a conversation and said, like, why don't we join partnership and really think about like what's our position? How do we want to what's our vision? What's our, ultimate goal that we want to obtain? And really came together to say, like, look, what we want to do collaboratively is really, build a community. But what we wanted to do is we wanted to highlight mainly focus on customers and highlight how they're making an impact in the field of technology. A lot of the people that we work with, customers, behind the scene, there's a lot of women technologists, business leaders. There's so much going on. So we wanted to create this platform with customers in mind and just share their stories, not just kind of technology wise of how they're adapting technology, but really how are they navigating this industry as a woman in this field? How are they earning the trust of their teams? How are they, overcoming obstacles along the way? What are ways that they are able to, just get buy-in for the vision that they've defined within those organizations? The tech field in itself is a very male dominated field. So sometimes for women, it could be challenging to navigate. And really what we wanted to do is focus here in North America, which includes Canada and the US, around like women empowerment, giving them an opportunity, build a platform. And we actually broadcast bi-weekly through Twitch and YouTube. And we wanted to give them a platform where they can listen in and learn from others who are in the field on, best practices and ways that they are able to overcome these obstacles along their way. So it's all about sort of women empowerment. And yeah, that's kind of how we joined partnership, and we've been growing ever since. And we've had a lot of success that we are really eager to share with you today.
Excellent.
I would imagine you both get very inspired yourselves from the guests that you have on.
Yeah, definitely. Absolutely. It's been an amazing journey so far. I mean, I think when we actually first, I remember Andrew and I, we were talking about this, and by the end of the year, we were able to have our first show with Liz Dennett from Wood. Well, she's no longer there, but at the time she's went on to bigger and better things. But she was going into the whole solar energy. But just recently we had Keisha Williams for slalom, and I mean, it was such an inspirational story that I got so much feedback. We received a lot of feedback, so we actually have an email account, but people just personally reaching out on LinkedIn or on Slack, just saying thank you for sharing her story and thank you for showing representation of people who actually look like me as well on your platform. So that was really impactful. And going back to Andrew's topic, you have we have more females in the technology industry today, but it's still not enough. So therefore, we still want to encourage. I have a young daughter, and I'm always putting her, she complains every day, you put me in another program. But I do. But I always want to give her the opportunity to say that there's additional STEM programs. STEM doesn't just have to be your computer programming. And I think with our show, we kind of show you different lenses so that way you can see, oh, I could actually do this in the field of technology. I could be a program manager. I could be a systems engineer. I could do this. So we're showing all the various different components that technology has to offer. And we're also showing you that there's some amazing female leaders that's making impacts as well in this field.
Excellent.
So are your guests all, are you interviewing AWS people? I heard you mention two cases, which were both sounded like they were external. So is that the great theme, that they're all external to AWS, or are you also interviewing internal?
Do you want to take that, Claire?
So I'll take it. Yeah. So it's a hybrid approach. I mean, what we do is we think that in North America, we have access to a lot of customers, right? And sometimes in the other areas, they may not have as many customers that are female leaders. And we do have that here in North America. So why not take advantage of that? But we also want to highlight our internal resources as well. So you'll see that we have collaborated with some of our CSM, customer success managers. We have our solution architects that they will also talk about some of the technologies that they've leveraged in customers' accounts. So I wouldn't just say it's all customers. We do focus on our customers a lot. But we also want to highlight some of our women leaders as well. So just the other day, we had a panel discussion where we highlighted some of our women leaders, and it was kind of like a real talk. So not scripted. It was just kind of like, tell us really what's going on. So it wasn't the normal talk track, I would say. It was really just talking about their careers, their journeys, and what really helps them to stay motivated. You know, in this day and age, there's so much happening in the world. How do you continue to make yourself level set? We know you're a kick-ass leader, but what else do you do to help balance yourself? So it was really a great inspirational session to answer your question, Jenna.
Thank you.
So speaking on that topic, how do you stay balanced, etc.? And I think it's Mental Health Awareness Month. How do you keep yourself well balanced to make sure that there's no burnout and whatnot? So we'll start with you, Claire, and then we'll go to Andrea, since you're on screen already.
I don't want Andrea to go first because her story. Wait till you hear her, right? Okay. But I'll tell you what I do. I am truly a person that believes in work-life balance. I know people say it, but I really believe that. And in order to do that, you have to come up with some type of a lifestyle. And what I mean by that, your health is so important. If you just don't take the time to focus on your health and your diet, it can lead to burnout. So for me, I am a 5 o'clock person. I get up, I want to hit the gym, I want to do CrossFit. I mean, I did tear my rotator cuff, so I had to take a little bit break, but I'm back and I'm going full force. But diet is a big thing for me as well. So just doing intermittent fasting, and I eat, but it's just really about that balance. So I have figured out that I have a lifestyle, I enjoy it, and it's really based on the workout and my diet. And actually, I have a family, so that plays a big part, right? Because I got to have time for them as well. So being able to manage that is how I do, how I'm able to balance everything. That's it.
Excellent. I'm not a morning person, but the only way I'll get up in the morning is just to go fishing early morning at 5 o'clock just to see the sunrise on the open waters. That's the only time I will do that. Other than that, you can't pay me to get up that early. Andrea, what's your story?
My parents used to say, consider your body as a expensive car. If you feed it bad fuel, you're not going to last that long, right? You're not going to, maybe a couple of years, and then you have to go for service. So, just eating to exactly what Claire said, have a good, healthy lifestyle. I think that's been super important. So you feel energized. Fasting and things, I religiously kind of follow that. I think is super important. Also, look, us as leaders within tech organizations, we lead by example. So, having kind of routines of, hey, this, when it's outside work hours, I truly respect people's time, and don't want to, slack them, send them a chime message. I think I kind of try to lead by example to say, look, outside work, that's my time with my family. So I try to follow that as much as I can to also show myself as an example to my team. I think that's super important. And again, keep, but one thing I would say, maybe that's kind of what Claire wanted to highlight. I think delegation. has been my way of kind of going about to scale, but not necessarily have to be forcing myself to work long hours. You just find kind of strength of your team and figure out, where the strengths lie, and delegation, really empowering people to be able to drive things forward. And you yourself can also kind of, get a little bit more sort of time, work-life balance, and time, be able to manage your time efficiently. But delegation and working collaboratively as a team has been super important. I would say last thing for me, I start going to the gym. I think, that changed everything for me. My partner is a mental health therapist. So with that said, at home, I have so much, I get to see a lot of, how to try to stay mentally healthy, and, just well-being to us in our family is super important. So that's kind of what I'm trying to do.
You are both really great examples. So thank you for sharing that glimpse of who you are off the show. How did you get together as co-hosts? Because you gel really nicely. So I'm very curious how you decided to collaborate with each other.
Yeah. So, you're right, Claire, I can take
So you go first, Andrea.
So Claire and I, we worked, we used to work together in the same group. And, with Claire, I mean, what I love about Claire and the way she does things, she's very much like ownership and bias for action. She has, talk about like raising the bar here at Amazon. Like, she's so good at execution, owning things, and like going out and making sure things are done. So I thought like, that's a great partner, because that complements me, right? Like, we just had different strength. My strength had been in the think big and building mechanisms, right? And Claire is really good around obviously think big and all that stuff, but she's really good in execution, operational excellence a lot. So now as we came together, it was so complementary. And as you could see from Claire, she's also a very likable person. She's a great communicator, and it's so important to partner with someone that is able to inspire others and have a way to just convey something that others can believe in as well. So that's kind of from my standpoint. Claire, maybe you want to comment on it as well, but that I thought like was a good complementary way that we got together.
Got it. Thank you, Andrea. That's so sweet of you. So my version of the story is that when you look at Andrea, have bar raises, Andrea is all the way up here. Andrea is someone, it's so funny. I was just sharing a story with somebody how she's just a very inspirational person, and she's always motivating. So she's always there helping others. She's a mentor to people that she doesn't even realize she's a mentor to. And she's always giving advice and good feedback. And the thing about her is that she's very, the way she conveys the message, there's no misunderstanding the message. So you know exactly what you need to do in order to meet her standards. But I mean, she's someone that you definitely want to go along in a journey with. And what I mean by that is, like you said, she'll come up with something and then you just be like, and it clicks. So she's actually someone that you could definitely work with. She's a great networker. She knows how to network. And I just think that she always raises the bar. I mean, when you want to look for someone to emulate, you definitely want to be around Andrea Sabat. I will definitely explain that. Another thing Andrea forgot to mention is that she walks. She walks. I don't know. It's almost like a marathon when she does walking. She's at the gym, but she didn't share that part with you guys, but she walks nonstop. And when you say, oh, where are we going? You want to make sure that it's only 2 blocks, because it could be 30 blocks for her. She's really an inspiration person. I definitely have learned a lot from her, and delegation has been a lot of the things that I have been working on in this 2023 year. So, and we do compliment each other. We do
Awesome.
compliment each other.
So, Andrea, what are you working on now that Claire just admitted what she's working on, being delegation? What is your opportunity?
In terms of so I think, what is my opportunity to work on? There's so many things I think I can definitely work on. I think one of the things,
besides walking slower.
Yeah, walking slower, you would think so, right? Like, I mean, obviously, I think what I admire about Claire is like, talk about like a bulldog. I mean, she's like she makes things happen. Like, I can think big, but I think as it relates to execution and just timely be able to deliver results. Talk about someone that can actually go out, seek, develop, connections and make things happen. That's the part that I feel like I could definitely do better. I mean, I'm learning from Claire. I mean, she's one person like you. If she has a clear objective, she makes it happen, but not like next month. She makes it happen like tomorrow. So before I even know about it, like things are already, done. Amazing. I mean, in terms of execution, that's without a doubt. Like, I think I admire her because she's not afraid of anything. Like, she would go to the top, at the very top, if that needs to happen, to make things happen. And I love that about her. Like, I wish I had that. Maybe call it like energy, drive, and maybe the getting up 5 in the morning and doing physical exercises, helping her be so kind of motivated and energized. But like, I wish I had that much energy to do things.
Well, you seem to be a very good team. So you have this show that runs weekly, and it sounds like it's a pretty diverse programming slate. How do you plan for it? What kind of work goes into leading up to the actual show?
Yeah, I mean, Claire, should I
Yeah, you go ahead, Andrea.
start with it? Okay.
This is behind the scenes. That's why I'm asking.
Yeah. No, so we have is a multi-step process, right? So we have a customer intake process, which is about identifying customers, current customers who are working with us collaboratively to be able to drive business outcomes. And some of these business outcomes could be like very hot topic, say sustainability as an example, right? We talked about Liz Dennett from Wood Mackenzie. I mean, they talk about like sustainability and how they're driving energy efficiencies using satellite imagery. So we have a customer intake form where our teams who are working collaboratively with different customers are able to say, hey, look, yeah, I have a really great customer that I've been working with, and we have some interesting stories we want to highlight. And the whole, I guess the carrot for these customers is that they have a story to tell, but ideally they want to attract diverse talent to their organizations. So they want to be able to have some airtime to share their stories. And upon doing that, we have then the discovery phase with these customers to really identify like what's the key takeaways, both from navigating as a woman in the field, but also impact in the field of technology. What are some stories they want to tell? And then upon doing that, we have a set of recordings that we do, dry runs, including, some trials. And through that dry run, we provide them with feedback. We try to refine it. And then we do some editorial work in terms of the videos. We usually record them and then we pass it on to them so they can pass on the legal team before we publish. Because sometimes, they might give numbers or say things that their legal teams may not approve. So we try to go through that legal process. And then we have a show time, so we schedule them for our live events. But before then, we have then a whole marketing and advertising kind of phase where we try to get as many viewers for these sessions and make people aware of it. And Claire, if I miss anything, let me know.
Yeah, I was just going to chime in to say that you may just see Andrea and I here, but we actually have a whole core team. So it's about 12 of us where we have representation from SA, CSM orgs, and it's from including Canada, the North, Central, South. So we're continuously building the team. Right now, we have integration, as I just mentioned, with CSM. We also have SMB, small business coming into play as well for those customers. We even had call in regards to global customers as well. So it's definitely, we're working and collaborating with multiple people within AWS internally as well to make this happen. We are also working with enablement. So enablement has played a big part as well as helping us to get more of the word out in regards to the show.
Awesome. So, I mean, yeah, so we have a few minutes left. So I know we have about 5 minutes left. Let's quickly then dive into it. So we talked about the discovery phase and you talk about your core group and the marketing. Let's talk about marketing. Who should be watching your show that that you're marketing to now that maybe they never heard of you, and they definitely should get to watch?
Definitely. So we're looking, I mean, it's really a diverse pool, right? But we are definitely trying to highlight and bring more awareness of females into the STEM area. So maybe when you're thinking about different colleges, right? A lot of these colleges have STEM programs. I mean, some were shared with me where some of these just have a full women's STEM program, and just how they should watch, as well as people may be coming back into the workforce, or people in the workforce now but are looking just to hear what other options. I mean, sometimes you come in and you come into IT and maybe you have one job that you're like, okay, well, what else am I going to do? What's my next opportunity? Places like this type of show, we can share with you what other opportunities are available for you in the technology industry. And I think those are the type of viewers that we will want to have as well.
Yeah, I remember right after, it was funny, like Andrea talking about you with the execution phase, and you and I had a quick call about like, hey, about marketing. We got on a call right the next day, and then we talked about like, how about STEM schools? There's specific groups, and we just bring that up, right? And then same thing, I ended up sharing it with the principal of my daughter's school, since it's an all girls school from middle school and high school. That's a 7-year computer science program, so from grade 6 to 12. So it's like, I want them to start early, start to be exposed to incredible leadership like yourselves, from a very early age, because that's the most impressionable age right now, being a teenager, right? So that's where I want to go as early as possible to help them, be successful. Now you have another show later on today, I think at 4 p.m.
Speaking of success,
What was that, Jenna?
I
Jenna?
think we have a tech problem.
Oh.
Oh, on the topic of success, I just realized that we did have somebody respond to our badge color question. And I do want to just congratulate A Fuego for getting that correct. So nice job. After 2 tries, I think. A Fuego, you got it right. So thank you. And thank you to everyone who has been engaging. I had lost my show. So I'm just seeing that. So I'm sorry to be late to acknowledge that, A Fuego.
It's okay. It's okay. So since we only have about a couple of minutes left, why don't you both talk about your programming today, in case people should follow?
100%. So thank you. We have a show coming up at 4 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. And that's Dapter. The CEO of Dapter is going to present on how they're modernize the big data pipeline using AWS services. That's part 1, which is more focused on the business. So the business use case, the kind of requirements. And then the part 2 will be 2 weeks from there, where they're going to dive in technically. I think we'll provide the links as well, and you can register, and we look forward to seeing you at the show.
Yeah. So Kevin, if you can just provide those links, and you also, actually, that's the wrong one. I also saw the mentorship program that you have. Can you quickly touch on that?
Yeah, definitely. So the mentorship program is another layer that we have under AWS She Builds, in which case they're looking for mentees. And this is actually great. It's still an opportunity where you can sign up, and this is open to external resources. You can sign up to be a mentee. The program lasts about 12 weeks, and the deadline to sign up to be a mentee is going to be May 31st. You'll be paired with an AWS resource, and that person will be able to work with that mentee in regards to different career goals and objectives. So it's definitely a great way for you to meet additional women in the technology space and be paired up with them. I know a few people have reached out to me about the program. I got great feedback last year in regards to it and how they actually helped them and inspired them to take some additional certifications after completing the program. So I would highly recommend it when if anybody's interested.
Awesome. Well, we'll really appreciate you all for joining. I think wrapping up right now as time has come to a close, but really appreciate you both, Claire and Andrea, for sharing your stories, and my awesome co-host Jenna for helping lead the conversations, and Kevin Boren for helping people engage in the chat and sharing all the information. So again, if you have the chance, please join their show later on today at 4 p.m. Eastern. And again, hopefully see you both soon. All right.
Thank you,
Thank
ladies.
you. Thank you very much.
Take care. Bye,
Thank you.
everyone.
Bye.
Bye.